Hello from the First Christian Church in Kent, Ohio. We are located up here on the corner of North Manaway and Main Street. And just downtown, just down the hill there is downtown Kent. And about a mile beyond that is Kent State University. This building was built in 1941. The sanctuary part of the building, and then in this 1966, I believe, we added on the education wing, and then we did some remodeling to expand our narthex and sanctuary and add some accessibility, and I believe an office at the time as well in 1995. So we have two kind of main entrances that we use. This side entrance goes directly into the front of the sanctuary, and that is one accessible way to get into the building, although not as commonly used. And then this is the other entrance. Here we have a small memorial garden. We have some real passionate gardeners. This kind of wing of the building here is what we call the education wing, and the second level of that education wing is our fellowship hall. I'm here alone, so I'm going to take a second to unlock the door and then lock myself back in. So it's kind of a split level building from this entrance. So it's really important that we have good signage so that we can make sure guests know which way to go. So we'll head upstairs to the third level, actually, the third floor. And this, it brings us right to the narthex area. Oops, wrong light switch. I tried this earlier in the day and then I had all kinds of video issues, so this is take two. So our narthex has bulletin boards, lots of information. Looks like we didn't kind of clean up yet. Sign-up sheets, a nice entryway into the sanctuary, a guest book. I'll go do a kind of a slow turn. There's our coat closet. There's the elevator. And then this staircase goes downstairs, and I'll try to do that at the end of the tour, so you can see the other main entrance, and that's looking downtown. So it's kind of a pretty view. And this is a bench that we removed from the sanctuary to give us more moving space in the sanctuary. And it's been a nice feature out here. Lots of people use that to wait for a few minutes or to sit and chat in this narthex area. So here's the sanctuary from the narthex. I also want to show you our parlor. We use our parlor space for choir warm-up on Sunday mornings, sometimes Bible studies or smaller group meetings. But what's really nice about this space, we also use it for our early morning worship service. It's a small group right now that meets at 8:30, and they've kind of come to enjoy the home-like intimacy of this space, and so they circle up, and sometimes the pastor stands for her sermon and sometimes she sits. And we do have a piano in here because this again is where they use the choir uses this for the warm-up space, but also then we have the pianist for that early service. The style of our building, I had a note on that. It says colonial design in the neoclassical style, incorporating a number of Palladian features. So I feel like it's a fairly traditional setup, a nice long space for the congregation, the nave, if you will. Pews, fairly comfortable, they're padded. Back here in the back is where our sound tech guy works. He can also operate our projector and screen. And so we actually have a screen that comes down in front of that stained glass window, and it makes like a white wall there for the projector system. Now, people weren't especially happy about covering up the stained glass window for any length of time, but they've kind of gotten used to it as long as we're careful and we use the projector system with a purpose. And then we'll just automatically lift that screen when we're done so that the stained glass window is really available. And on Sundays we use that mostly for the opening part of the service all the way up until the scripture. Then we just lift that screen, and this is what you would see for the rest of the service, including communion time. In 1996, we expanded this area a little bit, and we added some accessibility features. So here toward the front of the congregational sitting area, we have a couple of shorter pews, which allows for a wheelchair to sit here, or maybe someone with a walker. So this is a nice space, and it's nice because it's toward the front of the congregational seating area instead of in the back, like where an empty row might be. Very recently, when we had carpet replaced, we went ahead and took out the front two pews on each, or the front pew on each side, so 2 total, and gave us a little more moving space in this area that just allowed us to have gathering space. It's nice when you even do communion by intinction, you come forward, just gives us a little more space to move. It's especially nice for the children's sermon or Christmas program or anything like that. Our chancel area, and you'll notice we, of course, have our flags, and we do get complaints if we move them. So our chancel area has a pulpit. We change out our paraments to match the seasonal colors, the liturgical season. Our altar, very beautiful, heavy. Our choir sits directly behind the altar. They just are up there for the first part of the service. Once they sing the choir anthem, they usually go and sit with their families. That gives a nicer view for them of the rest of the service. Up in this area we have a piano and also our organ. Our organ, in 1995 when we redid this area, they built it in, and that's really convenient for now because we have a nice petite organist, but it is a tight squeeze back there. And for myself, for my own wedding, my organist couldn't fit in there, so he played piano. Let's see, everything up here is movable, including the pulpit and these walls, which is nice. You can really rearrange everything in this area. And I do, especially for special occasions. Then I wanted to show you our baptistry. It's really nice. It's right here in front of the stained glass window. And you enter that through our sacristy right here off to the side of the sanctuary. And that is where we do our baptisms. Let me give you one last view from the pulpit looking out. And that's just kind of a nice view. Really emphasizes that straight line view from the speaker to the congregants. All right, let's see, I'm going over on time. So I think that's all you're going to get. Our other entrance, maybe I can put a picture up later.